I am here with Apple CEO Tim Cook, and this morning he is celebrating.
This is the happiest I've seen Tim Cook in like 3 years. I feel happy for him just that he's so happy.
Celebrating the long-awaited release of the Apple Vision Pro, and now he's going to tell us all about it. Tim, thank you for joining me this morning. And I had an opportunity to try the Apple Vision Pro.
How was it?
It's the most amazing thing. It is so hard to describe to someone who hasn't experienced it yet.
It's magical.
It is absolutely magical. But how do you envision this being used by people in their daily lives?
Oh, I think it's going to be used in so many different ways because it's a spatial computer. And you know, the iPhone introduced us to mobile computing. The Mac introduced us to personal computing. This is the first spatial computer. And people are going to interact with it in different ways.
Like he's not going to call it VR. He doesn't want people to call it VR. Please don't call it VR. Please don't call it VR. I do think that he does have a point though in trying to get people to view it as a computer, because I do think that for especially a device of this caliber, it is the designation that makes the most sense.
Some people will connect with it, with FaceTime and so forth. Some people will train on it. Surgeons will train on it. It's just the number of use cases is like a computer.
Yeah.
It's just enormous because there's over 1 million apps for it already.
It is a computer, but it is a headset.
Yes.
And you're so immersed in this world that you can create with this.
Yes.
But it has a lot of groundbreaking technology. What is that?
Yeah. And so we've been working on this for years. And to get the gestures down, there's a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning built into the product. To get hand gestures, to get room mapping. This stuff requires very deep machine learning. And we couldn't be more proud of it. You know, a company only has a few of these. Most companies have none.
Yeah.
We've had the Mac, the iPod, the iPad, the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and now the Vision Pro. It's one of those moments.
Well, I've had every one of those you named, and I'm going to have one of these too. You talked about, you know, you're using your hand because it's a headset.
Yeah.
You wear it, but you navigate it with your hands.
Yeah.
How does something that I'm wearing on my face know what I'm doing with my hands?
Well, there's many cameras in it. And we're always looking at the hands, and they don't have to be out here, and so it's not uncomfortable. You can put them in your lap, and you can select. With your eye, you select the app that you want to open, and with your hand opens it. It is.
Now, I was thinking, by the way, because it uses cameras, and in MKBHD's review of this product, he was like, if you're watching a movie in the dark, it's not going to be able to catch any gestures you want to do because it can't see your hands. If you are using it on a desk or at a table, it can't see your hands. There was a part of me that was like, would it be possible for it to use sonar instead? Sound waves, so that it can kind of get some sort of bitmap of what's where, even in the dark, kind of like a submarine. And then if you're in the dark at the very least, it'll be able to detect where your hands are. Now, if your hands are under a table, I don't know if it'd be able to detect that, but at least in the dark with sonar, it'd be able to tell what you're doing with your hands. Part of me is like, that feels like a missed opportunity, but maybe it's something I thought about and decided not to do. But like, I don't know. That just seemed like I wish that they had decided to do that.
Magical, it really is. I know that's a word that we use a lot, but it is truly magical.
I've done it, so I can agree. It's really just, and it's very intuitive and very natural once you start using it. It doesn't take long to figure it out.
It works the way your mind works.
Yes.
You know, you don't really have to train to use it. You put it on and you already know how it works.
It just makes sense. It just absolutely makes sense. And the big question for a lot of people at home would be the price. It's $3,500. How long before it's more accessible to your average customer?
Well, it's tomorrow's technology today, is the way I think about it. And it's packed with, we have 5,000 patents on the product already.
That makes sense. I mean, it's a very complex device.
And so we really leaned into it. And I'm hoping that people, you know, some people will pay for it by month. Some people will just buy it. I talked to a lot of people out in the line, they're just going to buy it.
Yeah.
But you know, over time, who knows what will happen. But we think we priced it for the right value today.
And there's going to be some critics who are going to say, does this keep us disconnected? How would you answer that?
I would say no, because you don't have to immerse yourself. You can augment your reality. And so you and I can be sitting here having a conversation with the headset on, and we can see each other's eyes, but we can also see the screens around us. And so it amplifies.
And by the way, I think that this is like the future, like to have augmented reality, not VR. There's between like, you know, not running into like tables and chairs and also being able to interact with other people. There's just too much to the real life experience to just get rid of all of it. Like if you want to add something, I completely understand that, but like replacing it altogether, I just don't see that as something that could work like long term and have a lot of adoption.
Connection. And so that was a key design point for us. We wanted people to be able to see each other's eyes, not get glazed over in a headset.
It really is amazing what you've come up with here, and like I said, I had a chance to experience it. The interaction with technology is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Oh, I totally agree. You know, I think about the first demos on this, and they were many years ago, and the rigs were enormous that we were using to try to get a feel of the technology. And it's one of those things, it happens to you, and you know in the moment that this is big, that this is huge.
Low key, I actually want an Apple TV Plus documentary about the development of this product where we can see that big rig, because I would like to know how big that thing like was originally. One thing that, because I watched all of MKBHD's videos about this, one thing he complained about was that because of how heavy it is, it kind of weighs down on his face. He can't really use it for more than 45 minutes or an hour at a time, really. It would be crazy to see how much bigger this was when it was initially conceived compared to how it looks now. Because if he's saying that there were some monstrously large rigs that they were using before, bro, like we already know how big and heavy this thing is now. Imagine how big it was when they were first doing like the original test models.
Huge, and you just have to keep working at it to miniaturize it and get the technology down pat. And we really feel proud of today and delivering the product. Thousands of people have worked for multiple years to deliver this.
Well, you can see it when you try the product. Congratulations, Tim. It is fantastic to be here with you. An excited store. Everybody here clapping and playing music. The lines outside are crazy.
Well, hey, that's cool. All right. Now, I don't know if this is going to be cool. This is Brett Cooper's reaction to the existence of the Apple Vision Pro. And her first question for us as the audience: will the Apple Vision Pro ruin society?
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. So if you've been here for a while, you know that we have talked a lot about AI on the show. I'm sure you know my feelings about AI.
Hate it, hate it, hate it.
And while I will always say,
did she
AI.
Hate it.
Did she beat up homie? What? Okay, I guess you can't really see me that well. He doesn't look like he's in the best physical state. I hope my guy's okay.
And while I will always say, that these new advancements are incredible because they seriously are, they're brilliant, I will never say that they are good for us as people or really any good for society on a whole. And my main gripe with AI is the way that it is quickly stripping humanity from basically everything it touches, specifically like music and art and poetry, all that. Not to mention the even more concerning examples like the AI friendship chatbots, the AI girlfriend.
Okay, the chatbots, the AI girlfriends, I understand her concern about that, but AI in general isn't necessarily awful or harmful. I should probably just watch a whole video that she has about AI though. I think AI can be a very good thing if it's used as a tool, not if it's used as like a replacement for humans. I think even a tool for certain forms of human labor, like repetitive tasks, those things, should be automated. I work in IT, and one thing I like to do is look at anything that's repetitive, and see if there's a way that I can automate it. Now, is that bad because, I'm using, maybe I'm not necessarily using an algorithm because it's not like an if-then statement in some of my scripts, but is it bad if I'm using technology to replace work that people could do? No. Because when I write a script, then people can do a task quicker, and then they can then go handle another ticket. So automation, AI isn't necessarily a bad thing, even when it's used in the workforce.
AI sex bots that are out right now, like none of that is good for us. You will never hear me say that that is a net positive thing for society. Like in general, we are quickly replacing things that are so emotional and personal with tech. But until now, most of this tech had been contained on our phones and our laptops. But now, the Apple Vision Pro has come out. And with this new advancement, it seems like people could be more disconnected than ever. We have to talk about that. Before we do, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section episode or one of our Friday live streams. All right, so this is the new Apple Vision Pro. They literally look like ski goggles. I will admit they are a lot sleeker than the, oh gosh, what are the Oracle? No, they're not Oracle. Are they?
Oh, the Quest.
Oculus.
Oh. I hear really good things about the Meta Quest 3. I've recently heard you can run like open source software on it. And I was like, what? Now, I don't know if it's something that you still have plugged into a computer, but like Apple's notoriously known for not necessarily having the most privacy conscious practices, not having open software ecosystems. So I don't think that the Vision Pro is something I would ever buy, even if I was thinking about buying a VR device.
Obviously, I'm really up to date on my VR, AR, MR, whatever it is. So basically what this is, it is a augmented reality headset. It's not virtual reality because you are actually seeing the world around you. So it's augmented reality, I believe. And all the apps that you are used to seeing on your phones and your iPads are populated right in front of your eyes, and they are available for you to use literally right in front of your face. You just pick up your fingers, tap, tap, tap. You can FaceTime, you can watch movies, you can take meetings, you can answer emails, you can text, you can literally do all of it just right in front of you. Now, it genuinely looks insanely cool. I would love to try one. I think it would be a crazy experience. I'm not used to any of that, so I'm sure I would have a headache and maybe pass out and need to nap for 3 days. However, I do think it would be cool to try. I don't want to live in one, which a lot of people are doing, which we will talk about soon. But it does come with a $3,500 price tag. So all the people that you see walking around with that headset,
that's too much.
$3,500 a pop. And
Dude, no, don't buy a Vision Pro. Buy a beater, man. Like buy a used car. Don't spend $3,500 on some Vision Pro, which, by the way, is finicky to some degree. Does have some kinks that need to be worked out. This is not a perfect device. Far more imperfect than something like even like the iPhone was when it was initially released. So I would struggle to recommend this unless you had like a great grandfather who died and left you a pot of gold.
it also comes with a side of interpersonal relationship doom. So these glasses have only been out for 48 hours, and we are already spotting them out in the wild. We need to go through some of these videos that are going viral on X. This is my favorite. God. So she's driving the new Tesla Cybertruck, which has barely come out. I think only a few people have them. She also has the Vision Pro. Like, this girl is fully teched up. I wonder if she's the person that just got Elon's chip planted in her brain. She's
Yo, imagine imagine having a Neuralink and a Vision Pro and connecting them. Like, what could you do with that? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Like, imagine like you don't even have to tap. Imagine you don't even have to tap. You could just think and be like, oh, I'm going to play, I don't know, 10K by KB. And it just plays for you. Like, that would be crazy. Or you're just like, man, you know what? I want to rewatch Mr. Robot. Boom! It's playing Mr. Robot for you, like, from the beginning. Like, that would be wild. Like, the amount of, like, crazy futuristic technology that's being developed at the same time is actually very, very encouraging.
She seems like she's on the cusp of all of that. So this lady, no hands on the wheel, tap, 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 the car's just driving. She's like, I'm in the Cybertruck. I can't be hurt. I could kill other people.
By the way, I think that some of these are fake. Some of these videos are fake. They're not actually using the Apple Vision Pro. Now, there is one really viral one by like some like his name isn't like Nicholas Molina. It's like Nicholas Molina. I saw a video of him doing that and it just on IG Reels, and it literally just blew up and went viral. that looked real. You can kind of tell who is actually using the device and who isn't if you see enough videos of people actually using the device.
Because this truck is like a tank, but I'm fine. Tap, 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 tap. You're going to see me do a lot of this because this is literally what people are doing. We're walking around like Thriller.
Wait.
Somebody's
Wait, if everyone is driving around in Cybertrucks that are basically indestructible, would anyone ever get hurt in any accidents? Actually, probably not, because we don't have roll cages yet in those things. Also, I was thinking about this recently. Why don't we have roll cages in consumer vehicles? I think about random stuff too much. Let's just roll the tape.
said, just send the asteroid already. Another person said, my parents told me not to get close to the TV. It'll hurt your eyes. Now they are connected to your face. Yes. Now, a lot of people think that this tech is very cool. They want it. That's the reason why we're seeing people walk around with this on, 48 hours after it launches. But seeing it in the real world in videos like this, a lot of people online think that it is very dystopian. They are concerned about it for good reason. Matt Walsh tweeted on that video, and he said our dystopian nightmare hellscape has...
Of course. Matt Walsh is exactly the type of person who would be creeped out and weirded out by something like this.
Arrived. Putting one of these damn things on your head is a sign that you have finally given up.
Bro, we're back to like the cringy, like the pre what is a woman Matt Walsh material right here.
Neil on X said, Jesus isn't coming back, is he? And he quote tweeted this video where this guy said, using TikTok on Apple Vision Pro has changed my life.
Hey guys, just want to show you what the TikTok experience is like on the Apple Vision Pro. I am able to...
What? Oh my goodness. The only thing that's missing is a Subway Surfer environment that's in full VR mode. This is a literal nightmare though. This is awful.
Consume as much TikTok content as I want at any given time.
That's literally my nightmare. That is absolutely horrifying. That alone is not good for somebody. Having multiple TikTok accounts is not good for your mental health. I would know I have multiple. But anyway, back to Jesus. Maybe this is the thing that will actually bring him back. This will be the trigger. This one also killed me. It's so wild. I think this is in London.
Is it a Boston Robotics in? That's kind of cool.
I got it on this leash.
So he's walking his robot dog with
VR
his Apple
leash.
Vision Pro. He has a fake virtual reality, augmented reality leash thing that he's walking his dog on
That's
in
cool.
his
That's kinda
Apple
cool,
Vision
though.
Pros.
Not
The only
gonna
thing
lie.
he's missing is his AI robot girlfriend. And the guy
Like, bro,
is fully
like the fact that we're already this close to such futuristic technology is like, I think there's just something cool about it.
set. Never has to speak to another human again, never has to leave his mother's basement. And something that genuinely makes me sad about this scene is that with that robot dog, he won't need rough greens. And rough greens is the best part of my morning routine with my dogs. And I know it will be for you too. Rough greens knows that dog food is dead food. Your pets
way
are
that she
just
does
as important
batteries
as
is
you are.
hilarious.
Rough greens is a supplement that contains all the necessary vitamins, minerals,
there's a
probiotics,
reason
omega
why
oils, digestive
she's my
enzymes,
favorite
and antioxidants
commentary
that your dogs
channel
need.
from
And the best part is you don't have to go out
Banana
and buy
Wild.
some fancy
I
expensive
don't like a lot
dog
of
food. You
people
can just
from
sprinkle
Banana Wild,
rough
to be
greens
honest,
on the food
so.
you already have every day, and you will be leagues ahead from where you started. Rough Greens supports healthy joints, improves bad breath, boosts energy levels, and so much more for your dog. The team at Rough Greens is so confident that their products will improve your dog's health that they are offering my viewers a free Jumpstart trial bag so that your dog can try it too. And that free Jumpstart trial bag can be at your door in just a few business days. So go to roughgreens.com/Brett, or you can call 877-66-MY-DOG. Again, that is roughgreens.com/Brett, or you can call 877-66-MY-DOG today. I'm just imagining trying to cuddle with that damn robot. I think I said that when I was talking about the robot girlfriends. Terrible. Cuddling
know
is
if
one
I
of
do
life's
that.
great pleasures. We should not replace that with robots. Somebody said Black Mirror was a documentary. It literally was. Somebody else said Dwight Schrute is spotted in London. Let's go back. It really does look like him. Down to the yellow shirt and the
He
ill-fitting
would
suit. This
never-
guy could spend thousands of dollars on a robot dog and $3,500 on goggles, but can't buy a fitted suit, sir. Priorities.
No.
All right, this last one.
Bro, I've seen enough footage from like Fashion Week in Paris. That's a look, man. That's a look. That's that's not him not being able to get a good wardrobe or him lacking funds. That this is an intentional look.
One that I want to show you is a bit more realistic. It's like a more normal sighting that might be coming to a city near you. A little less robot dog, a little more average Chad.
Yes, this is legit. This is the Nikias Molina guy.
He's just on the subway. In the zone. It's not normal. And I know that makes me sound like a boomer.
You are aging so rapidly.
I don't care. This is weird. It's so odd.
This is weird. Okay? A phone with no home button? That's weird. That's strange. That's bizarre. The fact that this phone has no headphone jack? That's also weird. It's also bizarre. But you know what? Technology changes. You know? I'm sure that there were people who didn't even envision being able to have multiple monitors. I have 2 right now. I bet there are some people who weren't able to envision like tablets existing. You know, technology changes. I have an e-ink smartwatch. I mean, this one, the battery's off. Like, I need to charge it. I have another e-ink smartwatch. Technology changes. I understand that people are going to find this weird. I actually do think that it is actually slightly weird. But that doesn't make it necessarily bad. Doesn't make it necessarily evil. Because technology changes. Now, of course, there are going to be privacy concerns and things that come up. And I actually do disagree with Tim Cook. I actually do think that this is actually probably going to drive people away from each other. Every new form of technology, I feel like, has driven people away from each other in a way that's very unfortunate, except for maybe email and texting. I think that so many things of technology, no matter how cool the inventions are, have driven people away. Like social media, I think is a really good example of that, causing tons of polarization. I could do an entire different stream about that subject alone. So that's kind of unfortunate, but that's different from like, that's not normal. Like, just get used to it, okay? EVs aren't normal either, okay? But we're getting used to those.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get used to it one day. We haven't gotten used to it yet. We've had like the glasses that you can take pictures. We've had the Oculus. This is a totally different ballgame. Somebody said it's a trailer to Ready Player One 2. Listen, I'm telling you, Black Mirror was a documentary. Ready Player One was a documentary. What else is a documentary? 1984? We're already living in that, my friends. Basically, every dystopian book and movie and TV show is coming true right now in 2024. One guy commented under that video and said, with the cost of $3,500, I'm surprised we haven't seen a video of one of these guys getting robbed yet.
Oh,
Seriously?
I am quite sure that these guys are in controlled environments to a degree. Like, that Nikias guy did not spend much time on the subway with that thing on. I'm sure that he checked his surroundings to make sure no one was sketchy, who was around him. Probably took it off 5 minutes after the video was being shot too, because I hear that the batteries for those things are not necessarily long lasting. But yeah, that's a good point.
Hey, people don't even
also, bro, like it's gonna be the new like PS5 for like newly made exes. Like, you know, like you have like videos of like ex-girlfriends like smashing like PS5s of like their boyfriends. You're literally gonna see that in like 2 weeks. With Vision Pro. Like, no, she smashed the Vision Pro. See, stuff like this is why you should make sure you have insurance.
even bring nice purses on the subway. And you're wearing that? We're about to see them. I'm sure they're about to get mugged. Also, I thought that this was a funny chain of events that happened in the comments, but Marquez Brownlee, who is a big tech YouTuber, he commented and said the keyboard only supports pointer finger input. He's trolling y'all. However, in a classic internet turn of events, the guy from the video saw this and he responded. And this was his view from inside the goggles. He was literally recording.
He was recording? Oh my goodness, I want to see this footage.
Here he is on the subway. Tippity tap, tap, tap. Tapping away, texting, answering emails. He has pictures pulled up.
Look at the dude staring at him like he's a goober. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Tap, tap, tap. Tapping away, texting, answering emails. He has pictures pulled up. It's just, it is weird. It's cool, but seeing it in the real world, you have to admit that it's weird. And of course, because it is a weird social phenomena and a huge cultural defining moment, it's basically the biggest wearable tech launch since the Apple Watch. The Simpsons had already made an episode about it. And they made that episode back in 2016. Watch this.
Escuela de Medicina de Harvard, John Hopkins.
So freaking weird. Somebody commented and said, but this isn't anything like the Apple Vision Pro. Just because they have a headset on doesn't make it relatable. How is it not like the Apple Vision Pro?
I mean, kind of. even though it's not where the Apple Vision Pro is, and I think one thing to take into account is that it's very clear that what you're seeing in the Simpsons episode is VR, where what you're seeing in real life is AR, right? You're not going to be walking into manholes wearing a Vision Pro unless you're doing that on purpose, okay? Like, you're just not. I'm sorry. But watch me get proven wrong in like 2 weeks. But like, regardless, this is where the technology could end up going. So I do see why some people do find this, at least to some degree, relatable.
Has the cord and everything. Are you daft? It literally looks just like it. Even if this episode was made about Oculus, and I think that it was because the first Oculus headset came out like a few months after this episode dropped. Even if it's about that, you're missing the point. What The Simpsons was predicting was the social response to that tech. The disconnect and the quick adoption and total dependence upon it. Where we walk around staring at apps and screens more than we already do, rather than looking people in the eyes. Where a husband and wife lay in bed on their devices instead of actually communicating with each other. Virtual reality communicating with each other instead of rolling over and touching one another, where our already overstimulated brains can now have 6 TikTok screens open at all times.
Just thinking, like, what's the point in going outside anymore? If I want to touch grass, I just pull it up in the metaverse. I just pull it up and I can see it. I basically can touch it. Just pinch.
No.
That's not great. And obviously there are people making the argument that, well, we already do that with our phones and our myriad of other devices that we wear and that we have. Yes, if you're walking with your phone, you do have to look up every once in a while to communicate and interact with the rest of the world or drive, etc. With this headset, you can technically see everything around you and the apps are just embedded. So there's no real reason to take it off. In my opinion, it is just another advancement, albeit very cool, that is pulling us farther and farther apart. I think that the tech is an incredible achievement, but you will never hear me say that this is good for humanity or bridging the social and emotional divide that our society is very obviously facing. This is not the solution we need. I actually think this will make things a lot worse.
I mean, she could be right. Because I feel like all technological advances, to a degree, and I've said this before, have driven people away from each other. But at the same time, it's so cool. Right? So I'm torn because I love technology and especially like new emerging technology. So I don't want to like necessarily like hate on it. People need to use it responsibly. I don't know. I mean, people are already getting driven farther away from each other, like without VR headsets. So, it's not necessarily going to be, a massive thing. It's not like it's going to take humanity to a place it would never be without it. Again, like I could end up being royally wrong on this in like a hilariously cartoonish fashion. But I'm not scared of this VR. I would be more scared of something like the Neuralink, for example, which, by the way, if you're keeping track of my 2024 bingo, is getting some people closer to calling Elon Musk the Antichrist, which completely makes sense depending on the application of the Neuralink. But that's a topic for another day.